Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Shalompopculture, your favorite YouTuber. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing why is Bleep flopping so hard, or why is Bleep, insert an artist's name, flopping extremely hard. And you guys really like these videos of where I'm just telling you reasons why the artist is flopping. And I didn't know which artist to choose for who was flopping, but there's a lot of artists, and I had to flick through my playlist, and boom, I found Ciara because she is flopping very, very hard. And I was like, this is going to be a great video, and I'm just going to love this because, we've got a lot to get into. So I'm going to do a bit of like not a deep dive, but I'm definitely going to go through her discography and explain bits of why she's flopping now and why she's selling music, and bits of her discography that caused her to flop and caused her to not be as relevant in the music industry today. Because I do have respect for Ciara. She is a legend. She is, in my opinion, she's a legend. Like, people often exclude her from like the talk, but of like talking about legends. But I think she is in there. Like, she she's got bobs. She's got hits. So let's not deny that. She's talented. Let's not deny that. But I'm gonna get right into the video before I start ranting some more. So Ciara came out with her debut album. Infamously, everyone knows this album. I hope everyone knows this album. Goodies in 2005, which this album was very, very successful. Like, it put Ciara on the map. It put her on the map. She had Goodies featuring Petty Pablo, which I believe that song wasn't even supposed to go to Ciara. It was supposed to go to, I think it was Britney Spears, if I'm not wrong, or if it wasn't Britney Spears, it was another artist, but it wasn't. Goodies wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't intended or written for Ciara. It was written for another artist, and allegedly Ciara had to fight for the song to get it to be hers. And Goodies is obviously a bop. And it's gone platinum as well. And we have One Two Step featuring Missy Elliott. Oh my gosh, come on guys, come on. That's gone platinum as well. We have O featuring Ludacris. Oh guys, that went platinum as well. And she has other songs within the album, but I don't want to like touch on it too much. And that album, plus her live performances, really put her on the map. People were people were starting to think like, damn, this girl's actually really talented because she can dance. When we're talking about dancing, like, she can dance. She's basically like the female Usher, basically. Like, she can dance. This girl, like, she does not play. It would not be a Ciara music video if she was not dancing. Like, every music video she's dancing, or she's like doing something like physical. Actually, I bet doesn't have any dancing, but you know what I mean. She does something like physically, like something physical that no other artist can really do. And then in 2006, she released her second album called The Evolution, which is also really successful. And my favorite songs from the album is That's Right featuring Little John, Like a Boy, and Can't Leave Him Alone. I'm not talking about the City Girls version of Can't Leave Him Alone. I'm talking about the original version with 50 Cent, which is also a bop as well. The City Girls version is a bop with P&B Rock, but the original version, obviously, got to go for the original, which is amazing. I'm just naming my favorite songs from each album because I don't want to because Ciara's got a lot of albums, so if I went really, really deep into every single song, we'd be here for hours. So I really don't want to do that. Then this is where I believe that Ciara just made a mistake and she flopped. So she went from The Evolution in 2006 to 2009, so she hadn't done any music between then until 2009, the third album, and she released an album called Fantasy Ride. 2009 for music was very, very different compared to 2005. Obviously, 2009 we had artists like Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, all those artists that were coming up and making a name for themselves. And all those artists I just told you guys about, they had personality, they had something about them which like you just couldn't ignore. Like, for example, Nicki Minaj, Lady Gaga, like all these things. So we had Lady Gaga doing Poker Face, we had Beyonce doing the Sasha Fierce thing. Like 2009, 2010, that was like the alter ego era of music. Like, every artist, every successful pop artist had an alter ego. And if you didn't have an alter ego or a personality which drew listeners and people in during interviews and just music, then you weren't going to make it. And unfortunately, Ciara she didn't have an alter ego. She didn't have any of that for this album. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why this era of this sort of album is where her downfall sort of started to go, in my opinion, because she didn't have an alter ego. You know, like Nicki Minaj she in 2000 and I think was it 9 or 10, she had like the Roman thing coming out, and she had the alter ego Roman coming out, and like the dressing very over the top. Same with Lady Gaga, she had the poker face thing, dressing over the top, being really extra during performances. Same thing with Beyonce, she had the Sasha Fierce thing in 2009, 2010. Her performances are on par, doing the most when performing. And Ciara just didn't have that. She just didn't have an alter ego. She didn't really have any personality. Like, she was just a bit boring, in my opinion. And maybe that's why people just didn't gravitate towards her as much in this era. But there was one song from the album called Love, Sex, Magic featuring Justin Timberlake, which has gone platinum. So this was like a moderate-ish success. She even has 2 versions of the song in the album. So she has the original Justin Timberlake, and then she has another version of the song featuring Versatile. I don't know who the heck that is. But yeah, that's why I think everything started to go downhill. And then when we look at Ciara's discography from 2009 to now, so we have 2010 is when she released another album called Basic Instinct, and she even collaborated with Usher on this album on the song Turn It Up, and she collaborated with Ludacris again because they collaborated in 2005. So it was probably easy to get a Ludacris feature for this song. But in 2012 she gave us the collection, and it was basically like all of her best nostalgic songs put into one album. So she put Goodies featuring P.T. Pablo, Love, Sex, Magic, Justin Timberlake, Pick Up the Phone, Turn It Up, Usher, Like a Boy, but it was like remixed. And then she had a song with Chris Brown called Turntables. So it was all her like most popular boppy songs in one album. And then she had other new songs like The Title, Heavy Rotation, other songs she had put to the album, and that was in 2012. This is like at the point where no one really was checking for Ciara, if I'm going to be very, very honest. Because if you think about music at this time, we had Rihanna going crazy with I'm trying to think, it wasn't the Loud era, because Loud era was 2010. So 2012 must have been like the Unapologetic, I can't remember, but we had Rihanna going crazy. People were frothing for Rihanna. She was basically the new big thing during this time. Nicki Minaj as well was doing her thing. She was the new big thing. And obviously Beyonce was still doing her thing, still doing music, whatever, blah blah blah. And then in like 2013, she did another album where she collaborated with Nicki Minaj called I'm Out, and that song did very well. I think it went gold or platinum. It went gold. I'm pretty sure it went gold. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. And she had 2 songs with Nicki Minaj. She had I'm Out and she had Living It Up. So, like 2 collabs in one. And then she also collaborated with Future on this album, which I think maybe that's where they sparked their little romantic relationship, and that's when they started to be interested in each other. Because I don't know, I don't, if they weren't working together and they didn't work together, would they have like been together? Would they have nearly gotten married? I don't know. I just don't know, because I just don't see it happening. And obviously, if you don't know the story of Future and Ciara, Future and Ciara were dating. They got into a relationship with each other. They got engaged, and then whilst they were engaged, Future cheated on her, and they broke up. And they have 1 kid together. Unfortunately, because I hate when people have kids and then they break up, because it's just like, no, just no, no. It's just like you can break up and you'll never have to see the person that you've broken up with, and that's fine. But if you have a kid, you're gonna see that person every day, every weekend, whenever your kid's gonna see the mum or the dad. So no matter how hard you try, you're still stuck with that person. And unfortunately, Ciara, no matter how much she dislikes Future, she's gonna have to see Future I don't know, like every weekend when her kid wants to see him, and whenever at Christmas, Easter, whatever. That's the thing. That's how I'm feeling with Missy Elliott and Pitbull. Um, I haven't really listened. I haven't really listened to that song, so I'm not gonna like comment on something I haven't listened to. But one of my favorite songs from this album is "I Bet." That song is a bop, and that song is a bop. But the only reason I feel like that song was a bop was because of Future and the whole scandal of him cheating on her and them breaking up, because they were almost about to get married. Like they were like half a step away from getting married, and she found out he cheated. So that's unfortunate. And the music video is really nice. It's very simple. The colors are very simple. She has like little to no makeup on. She's like everything is just perfect. The start of the music video, the little ballerina thing, like everything is just perfect. And she even had a remix of, she had two remixes. She had one with Joe Jonas, which I didn't really care for, and then she had one with the Rehab remix. So that's that. I feel like that album was only successful because of I Bet. If I Bet wasn't on the album, then no one would have cared for that album. No one would have gave a crap about the album. And then we have, she goes to release Beauty Marks, right? Which is in 2019. So that's a big gap. 2015, 2019. That's like what, like a 4 year gap? 4 year gap. No, I said 5 years. A 4 year gap. And like we didn't expect this. So when she released Level Up, we did not expect, like it just came out the blue, in my opinion. So she released Level Up, and that just blew up on like all social media platforms. That song just blew the heck up. And it's also a really good song to run to as well, or to work out to. But that's besides the point. This song is a bop, and it just blew the heck up. And the thing is, I'm not trying to diminish the success of Ciara, but what I'm trying to say is, on every album from about, I'd say, I don't know, like 2010 onwards, there's only one hit in each album. I'm like, you can't have one hit in every album. You need to have at least like, in an album, you need to have at least more than you need more than one hit for the entire album to even chart decently. You need to have like what? I don't know, at least four, I don't know, like, so you need to have one main hit, which is your main song for the album. So for example, I'm just going to use Ariana Grande for an example because it's quick and easy. So for Sweetener, she had No Tears Left to Cry as her debut stand-up single, and that was a bop. But then she also had like 6 other bops on the album. And the thing is with Ciara, she doesn't have that. She only has the stand-up single, which is great. She has the stand-up single for the album, which is to promote the album and to show what the album is to sound like. But then she doesn't have any other bops, and it's only that one song which carries the entire album, in my opinion. And that's what happened with Beauty Marks in 2019. So she has Level Up, and that just carried the whole album. No one that I know of really talks about that album. Like, can people name, I don't know, apart from Level Up, name 5 songs from Beauty Marks without Googling and without searching? I don't know. Can people do that? Maybe it's just me, but I can't. If someone asks me on the spot, I'm gonna give you 100k, name 5 songs from Beauty Marks, I'm just gonna be, I don't know. And then now we're sort of in present day where Ciara isn't releasing any albums or any music, or she's releasing music, but when Ciara releases music, she's missing the mark. She's collaborating with artists who are who don't match her vibe. Like who did she put? What's her name again? The rapper Glorilla. She put Glorilla on that song, which sounded awful. I'm like, why are you putting Glorilla on a R&B song? And I feel like it's sort of, she does it deliberately, Ciara does, so that she can win over the younger generation and win over the younger fans. And it's just not working. She's just trying too hard to appeal to the younger fans, the younger audience, like my age and a bit below. So like, it's just not working at all. She even put Summer Walker on a song, and I actually like that song. What's it called? Better days. Oh, I forgot what it's called, but that song is a bop. It's actually a bop. I actually like that song. A lot of people were saying they didn't like that song, but I actually like that song. I even put it on my playlist because I'm actually true to what I say. But she's just trying too hard, and I feel like for Ciara, she just needs to hang up the boots. And that's fine. Not everyone needs to have like 20, 30 year careers like Beyonce, and not everyone needs to have like 12, 13, 14, 15 year careers like Nicki Minaj and Rihanna, and that's fine. Just let people enjoy your old songs from like 2005, 2006. Let us enjoy those songs, and you don't have to have a comeback. You don't have to um be collaborating with artists that don't even do your genre and whatever. But I think she tried to sort of have a comeback with Chris Brown, because Chris Brown was supposed to perform at the AMAs, if you remember. Was it last year, I think? Or this, I can't remember if it was this year, last year. He's supposed to perform at the AMAs as a tribute to Michael Jackson. But the AMAs, so Chris Brown had been rehearsing and practicing for this tribute, and he decided to invite Ciara, and it was going to be Ciara and Chris Brown to tribute for Michael Jackson, since it was his, I think it was like the anniversary for Thriller or something, or just in tribute for Michael Jackson. But the AMA producers and the people that work there didn't didn't pull through, because they were like the controversy with Chris Brown, and then the controversy with Michael Jackson, that obviously he allegedly what he allegedly did with young kids. I don't really want to get into it because it's very long, but yeah, all of that, and it got pulled at the last minute when they had finished rehearsing, finished doing all of that, which I think is just rude in my opinion, because you literally ask people to perform, they've rehearsed for weeks on end, and then at the last minute before they even get ready to perform, you're like, oh no, you can't do it. Do you know how rude that is? Like, oh my gosh. So if you thought Chris Brown was so controversial, why did you ask him to perform in the first place? That's my opinion. That's my question and opinion. And at this point, if you're still talking about the Rihanna and Chris Brown thing, just grow the F up. Rihanna has publicly accepted his apology. She has privately accepted his apology, and she's spoken about it on multiple occasions. Chris Brown and Rihanna, they're fine, they're cool. It's just that the general public doesn't want to forgive Chris Brown. But then at the same time, people will condone um essay and just editing me. What I meant to say was, people have their priorities just messed up, because people will laugh off and just laugh off and just forget the fact that Cardi B drunk men and took their money and ordered grown men to throw bottles at young women. But then they'll be like, oh, Chris Brown did this and this and this, but then like Cardi B won't get held accountable and everything will be fine with her. But then with Chris Brown, like 15 years, however many years later, people are still holding this against him. But then with Cardi B, no one will actually ever hold that against her. It's just hypocritical, which is what I meant. And people just have their priorities messed up. And people are basically just like, it just doesn't make any sense. You just sound quite dumb. And I don't know, like abuse. What's her name? I'll put a picture of her, but I think she got like allegedly like arrested or something or whatever for allegedly hitting her boyfriend, and no one talks about that because she's a white female. But obviously, if a black female or a black person was to do what the girl did, oh my gosh, that would be everywhere. They'll be cancelled. But she's still booked and busy. She's still getting deals from Netflix and all the big corporate brands. But yeah, that's really off topic. I just really had to let that out to anyone that's like, you listen to Chris Brown? Yeah, I do listen to Chris Brown. And what? And what? Fight me. Anyways, so the downfall of Ciara was she's just trying too hard to relate to younger audiences, and she's not staying authentic to her brand and to herself. But I think she just needs to hang up her boots and just she has her own brand. She has a skincare brand, which she did start, I think was it last year, and it looks okay, I guess. I don't know. From the reviews I've seen, people like it. They like the cleansers and the toners and all the moisturizers. So I think that's great. But the problem is, I think Ciara started her skincare brand too late, because the skincare business and makeup industry is so saturated at the moment. You have Fenty Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics, Elf, NYX. Like, you've literally got so much, so much. So when it comes to skincare, like, what what is different about your skincare that's going to make me gravitate towards yours? And at the moment, personally, I wouldn't buy Ciara skincare because it looks a bit basic. The ingredients are a bit basic, and you're paying a lot of money for something I could probably just buy at the drugstore. That's my opinion, but no hate to anyone that has it. Um, but yeah, of course, would I like to see Ciara have another hit, like one more last hit? Yeah, of course, but at this point, because Ciara is independent, she's using her own money and her own resources to fund her music videos and to fund her music. So at this point, it's just sort of a waste of money, and she should just hang up her boots. And that's not me being rude or disrespectful, but you know, none of her songs are charting, and allegedly she wants to collaborate with Megan Thee Stallion, which I don't know how that would work out because Megan Thee Stallion is obviously a one-trick pony. She hasn't really got anything. You know, her flow is very one tone, one flow, nothing very different, one trick. You know, same flow every song, same topic every song. So it'd be interesting to see how Megan would get on and hop on a Ciara song, to be honest. But um yeah, that's all I've got for Ciara today. Hopefully you like this video. Comment, share, subscribe, because I'm really trying to get to 500. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you like the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and Shalompopculture out.